YouTube. And today we will discuss about Boredom. So this is an interesting subject that we have. Okay, now we are online. So, okay, so good evening for YouTube channel, for people who are watching us. So guys, today we will discuss about boredom. I will put the questions on the chat. And we are going to discuss what we think about this subject. What is our opinion about to be bored? So guys, please think about it. I will split you in another small room, and of course, in another room, choose a leader, a person who will just read the question and direct the conversation in order to have an organization. And 5 minutes before the end, I will call you back to the main room again, okay? So let me see. I will create another. Okay. Okay. Please accept the invitation of the small room and see you soon. Okay. Okay. So now we are here, Heitor, Pedro, Ayla, and Charles. Let me know if you received the questions on the chat. It's okay? Okay. So I like the participation of the people of the room. So we can start with Charles. Charles, please choose a question for us, and you can read, respond, and choose another person to respond and so on. Please.
Thank you for choose me first. What do you think when you hear the word boring? Bored. Yeah, I try to think about, but I don't know. It's a question that's make me think about, because I really don't know. It's for me. It's a common word, and maybe have a lot of things in our life there it's boring. Nowadays I need to study here, and some class it's so boring. All right. Yeah. I'm an old man, 43 years old. I'm not in the same piece this young guy anymore. And I could say this word for me fit well in my classes. Yeah, that's it again. Yeah.
Can you choose another person to respond, Charles?
Oh, sorry for that. Heitor Pato. Can you, man?
Yes, here we are. So it like Charles said, it's like really difficult to think about it because okay, bored. I think everybody has been bored at least once time this week. It's impossible to not be bored like one time in your life. So I would say that it is like usual and also not a good thing. So when I think about bored, I don't think about, oh, I'm bored. Yeah, I'm bored. No, it's like okay, it's always like a bad side of bored, and could be related with other things like could be related with overthinking, with a lot of things to do or nothing to do. So could be related with a lot of things, but always in the bad side, maybe. But it's part, I think, of our day to be bored and to get excited again for something. So that is it. And let's see.
Go ahead, Heitor. Go ahead.
Ayla, and you, what do you think about it?
Okay, I think when I hear the word boredom, I I think it is something make us feeling down. For example, when I need to do something that I don't like it to do, and it's so hard for me. Uh, I remember about my house chores, and it's so hard sometimes because these chores never end. Every day I need to do uh, some chores in my house, and it's necessary, but it's making me bored. And you, Sarah?
Yes. Clean the house, make the things, prepare the meals. It's so boring, maybe. But when we conclude the things that we need to do, it's good when we conclude. But when Heitor was talking about his opinion, I was thinking that things that we could define as boring things could be the extremely of the one thing. For example, I love chocolate cake, but imagine you eat chocolate cake every day, in the morning, the afternoon, the morning, the afternoon. So you are feeling something boring. You will have a time that you will avoid a chocolate cake. So in our life, I think that the extremely of the things could promote a boring situation. So we should live in a balance in our lives to avoid this kind of situation. And of course, that there are other things that are boring. And for example, to wait in a line in a bank, to wait for a service in a cell phone, you need to solve some situation with a bank. It's so boring. And other situations we can manage in order to avoid that this situation be a boring situation. What do you think, Pedro? What is your opinion?
Well, when I heard the word bored, I think bored is about feelings. So when you're not enjoying the conversation, the moment. So I think it's not only about, about things that you are not interested. So we can go to a meeting and I've been boring and Heitor not, because he liked this topic, he's enjoying this moment. And for me, this is not interesting. So I think it's totally relative what we like. So if I like something, this will never be boring for me. If I don't like the topic, it will always be boring. So I totally depends. So if I like that, I'm enjoying that, I'm interested in that, this is not the bored. But for example, there are people, for example, that we like to hang out But sometimes these people is talking too much and too much. You're not, oh, stop a little, because we are not feeling good in these moments. So we are not enjoying this conversation, because I think because that we think bored, because we are not enjoying that. I think this is the meaning.
Yes, I agree with you. So, Pedro, continuing with you, please choose
Okay.
another question for us.
Any question?
Any question you prefer.
What do you, 7. What do you do when you get bored? Totally depends. If I can do something, I stop what I'm doing and I try find another thing. But I think the most hard is when you're bored to do nothing. These days that we are in the weekend in home alone, and you are sitting in the front of the TV and you say, "Oh, I'm totally bored. What I need to do something." But the problem is that you don't know what to do. So when you're doing something that's boring, you can stop that. But the problem is when you are not doing anything and you say, "Oh, I'm totally bored. I need to do something," but you don't know what to do. This is the hard moment. And there are there are days, for example, that I try go to the internet and search in the Google, what do when you're bored, and they find a list of things to do. So this is a clue. This helps a lot. And you, Charles?
No, it's funny talk about this and listening you talk about boring, because I was thought about my life. I did a lot of change in my life there. I don't have time for have a boring life, man. Yeah, so many changes, so many challenges, so many goals. My life, it's like a, I don't know how I can say in English, carousel. Yeah, all the time. Oh my gosh, man. Yeah. I arrived in Calgary 2 months, full of expectation, and I will move in 1 month and change again. All right. New challenge, new goals. Yeah, I don't have time for have a boring life. Of course, sometimes we have bored things like classes. It's a momentary thing, and I agree with you. It's boring when you don't have anything for to do. It's more boring yet. But when you can change, it's okay. You do something, and but my life it's so good, and I have some boring things, but it's not too much. Yeah, that's it, I guess. Ayla, tell me a little bit about you living in Pará. It's frozen. Ayla, it's frozen.
Yes, maybe there's a problem.
Yeah, Pará, it's a special state, because
Yeah.
when rain, the internet lack.
Yeah, that's true, Charles.
I would like to know about you. What do you do when get boring?
Okay. Uh, when I can, I try to take a break and I go out for a walk a little. I try to listen to my favorite music. So so I try to have positive ideas, positive. Uh, I try to get my mindset better, and but when I need to finish uh, some tasks, for example, at work or in my house, I try to to do a little the task is more I don't know, maybe quebrar, I don't know, to that's the way to I could be more easy. I could be easier to finish. Yeah, but when I can, I keep away, and so I try to do something I like to do. And do it too.
Oh, I was looking for this question because I'm with COVID, so I'm in my room for more 6 days. So it's like, okay, I really need to know about it. But it's like, I think it's about to break the pattern that it's boring you. So if boring you the situation that is not motivation, so you need to trigger something that motivates you. If it's lack of things to do, so you make a schedule or try to do different things around the day. Or if it's the same thing that you eat different things. So it's like break the pattern that bored you. So I would say like these days for me became like, okay, I make a schedule for myself because I will do everything that I need for my PhD that we started next year. So no, I slept. I slept, and I did nothing. But I have this motivation to that will be done for this week for sure. And you, Sarah, what do you think? What do you do when you get bored?
Yes, I totally agree with you, Heitor. We needed to have when we notice that we are feeling boring about something, we needed to break this kind of standard, as you said. So, in my case, it's difficult. I feel boring. I feel bored because I have many things to do every day. I don't have time to stop and think about something. I need to do a lot of things. But sometimes I feel boring in my job, even in my job. So as you said, I agree with Ayla as well. We needed to stop and walk a little, maybe listen to music that we like, or do something that we like. Try to relax sometimes. So yes, this is the way that I try to move myself in order don't be don't be bored. So okay, let's continue with you, Heitor. Can you choose another question for us, please?
Yes, I chose number 6 because I want to know the bored movies for you all, guys. Because I have one good one, a really good one. So describe a boring movie you watch it, and maybe I will hurt someone feeling, but Twilight, the last one, Twilight, the most bored thing that I watched in a movie theater for sure, for sure. That war between the vampires and the come on, war between 10 people, like no, and it was a dream, and it was a dream. So no, for me, for sure, Twilight, the last
Please put
one.
the name of the movie on the chat
Ah,
for us, please?
it's the translation. The translation
I will not.
Portuguese is, I forgot how to say crepúsculo. Crepúsculo.
Oh, Crepúsculo.
Yeah. So Twilight, the last one. But for me, it's this one. Let's see for you, Charles.
Oh man, I'm not so good for talk about movies because I don't watch too much. But I know some ones that I watch with my wife. She likes some romantic movies, and I don't like too much. But I don't remember the name because I'm so weird, just so I'm lazy guy, and I don't remember the name. But yeah, actually, I don't used to watch too much movies too. And for me, it's so difficult talk about. But for sure, I know a lot of boring moves, and I follow my wife, and she enjoy a lot of movies that I don't enjoy too much. I don't know why, and I don't know how she enjoy this kind of move, but I don't. I cannot enjoy. Yeah, it's difficult to me. How about you, Coutinho? Do you? I know. Do you like more move than me? I listen you some days
I love
before.
moves.
Yeah.
I love moves, but I was thinking there, and I don't know a move that I say that is boring because when it's boring, I stop in the middle, so I don't keep the name from that. But for example, the documentaries for me is so boring, oh, terrible to watch. And moves in black and white, I don't know why, but it's boring too. And the people, for example, say, "Oh, the Charlie Chaplin move, they are a classic, they are good, they are awesome," and I think this is totally boring because no one say nothing. This don't have action. It's only a man in black and white doing things, and I say, oh, for me this is totally boring. So we have, for example, Mr. Bean is a move that no one is talking. He's not talking, but this is nice. So this for me, I enjoy that, but I think there is a little old. So it's three types of moves that I don't like. For me, they're boring. And for you, Sarah?
Oh, guys, I was remember some movies, and there is a movie that I watched it once. It was the worst movie that I spent that time. It's the movie Mandy. Did you know? Uh, did you watch someday?
What's the
I
name? Say again, please.
Mandy. I will put the name Mandy. It's a movie with Nicolas Cage. Do you know, guys? Nicolas Cage is an actor that do uh, good movies, but the worst movies as well. And this is the worst movie that I watched. And it's something that is in disagreement. The start of the movie and the middle and the end.
It's supposed to be a horror movie or not?
Yes, it's
Okay.
a horrible,
Okay.
but it's something that
I
is
was
not,
looking here and totally boring. You
don't
are
don't
right.
make sense this movie, and I advise you don't watch, please. I think that I watched just to the middle of the movie. I was not able to conclude. So, guys, it was boring. And you, Ayla?
So, guys, like Charles, I'm not good to describe the movies, but I usually don't like this movie when everything is slowly, is very slowly, and or sometimes comedy movies when there is so much fight and I don't know, drugs and alcohol. So in the end, it doesn't make sense at all. So I don't remember the names of movies now, but I don't like it, the movie when it doesn't make sense, and I consider a boring movie.
Okay, Ayla. So please, could you choose a
I
question
write
for us?
one aí, foi apenas um sonho, with Leonardo DiCaprio.
With Leo. With Leo, yes.
Oh my gosh, I remember this movie. I searched in the internet here because this one it's the worst that I was obligated to watch with my wife, but
I obligated my husband to watch A Bela e a Fera with me in the cinema, but it was so good for me, but for him, no. Okay, Ayla, could you choose another question for us, please?
Okay. Um, Let me see. What's number 4? What's the most boring thing you have to do? Um, I think take it out the trash away because I need to do this every day. So sometimes I, in the end of the day, when I I I finished my activities and I remember I I have to downstairs to take it out the trash and I think it's a body thing to do. I don't know, but because I have to do every day, so I don't like to uh, to do a repetition thing task, and yeah. And Charles, Charles,
the same, the same, the
Charles.
same, the same, Ayla, the same. I think my wife have the same problem because she obligate me to do this every day, and it's my function to do that. And yeah, it's so boring. But yeah, I do this a lot. But I think nowadays, attempt the class, to me it's so boring. Uh, I'm a guy that I get the thing so quickly, and some tutors don't have too much enthusiasm to to presentate the I don't know, my English go to to the street right now, and I talk in Portuguese in English here, but yeah, I think that's it. Oh, terrible, terrible. 1 hour and a half watch some classes. It's terrible. It's terrible to me nowadays. Long time. I think the last time I attended some classes was when I did my master's degree, maybe 5 or 7 years ago. And here I need to attempt some classes in the like it's not high level. It's like some certificate course for teenager. Yeah, and it's not direct. Like if the guy talk about my area, it's okay. Like but it's some subjects. Yeah, totally crazy. And to me nowadays, it's so boring. But what I do, I try to think in the positive way, and I think it's will only for some months. It's not forever, and I need to attempt this class because my process here in Canada, and it's my ticket for become a PR, and I try to think in this way. But I think 1,000 times in my mind. Yeah, that's it, I guess. Yeah. How about you, Sarah? What do you have to do? So bored.
Yes. The question is, what is the most boring thing you have to do? Okay. So, guys, I was thinking about this question, and the worst, most boring thing that I need to do was the magnetic resonance. Did you do this kind of exam? It's so boring. Yes, you can stay in this position during 20, 30 minutes, paralyzed, and the equipment is checking you, and the sound is allowed in your ear, and maybe you don't need to do this exam if you are okay in your health. So I had an accident, and I need to do this exam, and it was a horrible situation and a horrible exam to do as well. So for me, this kind of exam that we needed to stay a lot of time waiting. And you, Heitor?
I would say
You,
like it's my first time with COVID, so this isolation is like really, really boring.
yes,
Really,
this is
really
another
boring.
another thing. Is so boring. Yes, I agree.
This isolation is really boring. So I would say that things that limitate you in some way. So I think the things that limitate me in some way would say that this isolation. But also one thing about my work that I need to write a lot. And the writing is my boring part for me. Like, I don't know, I could do thousands of experiments, million speeches, I could do classes, whatever. But writing, it's like I'm dying every time, but I do it because I need to do it. So it's about to do it that to have some beneficial after, but it's part of the work for sure.
I am the opposite of you, Heitor. I can write several pages, but I don't like it to do the experimental. For me, it's so boring. Okay.
Let's exchange or
Go
combine the work, no problem.
Yes, go ahead.
Oh,
I don't
I think
Coutinho.
let's
I think I'm the
Coutinho.
last one.
Theodore.
And I was thinking while you were talking, and I don't know. I don't think I have to do something that I think is boring. I think work is work, and in the general, I like to work. And if you find this is boring, I think you need to change your work. So you will work the rest of your life. So do something that you like. Oh, maybe you can like that, but boring, I think, is too extremely. And I don't know what I do that is boring. I think for me, I'm more the opposite. I think when I'm doing something, for me is okay because I'm doing something. I think for me, I'm boring when I'm not doing. So when I'm stopped. So for example, that day that you go work and you don't have what to do. This for me is totally boring. Or when you're in your house and for example, the electricity go off, it runs off and you don't have nothing to do. You sit and you don't know what to do. You don't have what to do. You don't have a cell phone. You don't have a television. You can't read a book because you don't have light. So this is totally boring because I'm not a person that will meditate and have a time alone and say, oh, I'm enjoying the time with myself. For me, I need to do something. So when I'm stopped only thinking, I think this is terrible. So this is totally boring for me because I get mad and I say, oh, I need to do something. And I say, oh, okay, let's run this street. So I find something to do. And is that. Can I choose another one?
Yes, of course. Go ahead.
Let's see. Are you bored learning English? No, I don't know. In the beginning, when I started, I think yes, I didn't like English. And I think this is totally boring. But like Charlie said, I think I was trying the worst way. So I was trying to learn in a little school and learning verb to be and learn things that don't make sense for me. And I think don't was improving my English. And the day that I start to use the English in my real day, so speaking, reading things that I like, watching movies that I like. So this becomes something natural because as Portuguese, you start to understand and you start to say, and is very pro. I feel very proud when something speak with me in English and I'm just understanding, and when I'm watching a movie and I'm understanding, and this make me feel good and try getting better. So I think in the beginning, English was totally boring, but nowadays I think, oh, this is really nice. I I want to be fluent fast to start a new language. What do you think, Heitor?
I would say the same. I think the beginning, when I was a child, I don't know, when it starts, okay, the three columns for regular verb, swing, swam, swam. Oh, come on. It's like it's like really, really, really boring. And it, like I said, it's about the way that we did that was bored. So I would say learning general language is not boring at all, but you need to do it in a way that it's more efficient. I would say efficient and practical or real, maybe. So this would be more touchable for you. So make it less boring for sure. What do you think, Ayla?
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think in the beginning, it's boring when we learn the grammar and there are a lot of rules. Not so much in Portuguese, but there is some rules, and I think it is boring. But um, nowadays, I don't consider bored learning English, and I consider difficult because it's part of the learning. It's difficult when I forgot the vocabulary, and it's very. Uh, I feel sometimes upset, but it's normal. It's party, and I understand it. And but bored. I think it's more normal, more common in the beginning. Yeah. And Sarah.
Yes, guys, I totally agree with you. When we are learning English in the first time, we feel so bored because we don't have the result that we are trying to achieve. And on the other side, when we are able to communicate, to explain a point of view, understand, when we can understand other person talking in English, we feel so better. It's the better thing that we could do. So I remember that for me it was so hard to start to learn English. I started when I started the course pharmacy at university. So I already were an adult. I didn't be a teenager, for example, a child. So it was hard, but when I started to see the result, it was so amazing for me. And nowadays I try to practice more in order to be fluent. And it's not boring. It's not so boring as was in the first moment. So yes, I totally agree with you guys. And you, Charles, what do you think for you?
I don't think nothing. I would like to know from Pedro, what do you want, Pedro? Do you tell in the last of your speech? Do you want to be what?
I don't like to stay doing nothing.
You would like to be fluent?
Yeah, totally.
You are fluent
No.
already, man. Oh, come on,
We are
come
trying.
on,
We are
baby.
trying.
Come on, baby. Uh, I don't have nothing for add this question because it's the same. Uh, but I think it's part of our job, our way, and fortunately, everyone is here talking English and understand well and make this great meeting. Yeah. Sorry for my mistakes because I'm a fully guy and I love mistake and until now I do mistake. Sorry for that and unfortunate hurt your ears. Yeah, that's it I guess. So
You are fluent as well, Charles.
yeah, I think so. I think so.
Right.
Not too good like you guys, but I think so.
Oh, everyone here is fluent. We can communicate with ourselves correctly, and the aim here is to provide the communication, the information, and we are here to learn. And I'm here to learn as well. I need to improve a lot of things, but we try every day. It's a process. The process we need to understand. So guys, welcome back to the main room. I would like to know how was the conversation in the small room. Renan, how was the conversation for you?
Yes, it was a good conversation, a new topic for me, and our discussion was very helpful, and I think it was a good conversation.
Okay, thank you. And for you, Flavia, how was the conversation for you?
Yes, it was great. I enjoyed so much this talk, and this conversation was so great.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
guys. So guys, we have a survey. I will put the link on the chat. Please let me know if you receive. So we have here a survey in order to understand how we could improve the meetings, the questions, the conversation in general. So you can do a score for us and maybe an advice. So guys, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your participation. I wish you all a good night, a good weekend, and of course, I wish see you on the next Wednesday in this time. Okay? Thank you so much, and bye-bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye. Thank you, guys.